And I'm live. Here we go. Let's see who we can get. Who will drop in? Here we go. Looking forward to tonight, Mr. Square Peg. So here we go. This should be interesting. Got somebody new tonight, so I'm looking forward to this. Been looking forward to this for quite a while. Sure, my microphone. I have a problem with it being on weird angles. It irritates me. Make sure I'm well hydrated, and we are live. Yes, we are. Yes, sir, Mister. I'm gonna spotlight you right there, Mister Square Peg. I appreciate your support as always. I've got red around my eyes. It was a very trying day at work, and so let's see what happens. Let me let them know that it's sent, and hopefully they will show up soon. So, got some cool stuff to talk about. Get some people's opinions on some things, especially in the realm of Goodman Games and DCC that was announced today. So, stay tuned for that. Should be a cool little talk about. Um, Yeah, should be interesting. I need to probably grab some stuff from it so I can add to the stream so people can see. Let me go try to do that while I wait for people to show up. See what we can do. If I can grab anything. There we go. See if I can grab this. Can. Sweet. All right. We're just waiting. Hopefully people will show up and we'll start talking. I should probably do some music or something. I need to get better music. This is not good music. Oh, there we go. It's Matt. Here's my ringer, Matt Micco. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and I appreciate you showing up.
Oh, no worries.
I haven't announced who is going to show up, and hopefully they do. They said they were going to show up, so I know I texted you and told you who that is. But, we've got some stuff to talk about on the Goodman Games front. I'm going to talk about what was announced today. Again, going to hopefully try to. If people don't know about it, we'll talk about it when other people show up. What's up with you, dude? What you up to?
Honestly, getting ready for this Kickstarter. Still getting people to back. Doing the pulp project that Bert and I are working on. Helping David out with his some of his Weird Frontiers class. I'll let him tell you about that.
What is it? Dog Soldier?
Yeah.
Oh, important. We got somebody calling in. Oh my goodness! Tell him to get on here and stop being a goof.
I'll just silence him. So he's that's funny.
I'm gonna text him and say something about me being live here.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt my guest.
But no, I for the game that Bert and I are working on, it's a pulp version of DCC. I think it's for mine. It's kind of like a gangster or 1920s. It's fun. The funnel is going to take place at Alcatraz because why not? It's
Sure,
1920s, and at that point, it's still a military installation, but it's still a cool from that whole pulp thing. It's like what would happen if, like, it's just crazy to me. Like, military prisoners got sent there, and if they took the, alien wreck from 1897 and they moved the alien there, and then of course you're stuck there as I don't know what you would, because you wouldn't be a town folk, but you would just be a normal person when all heck breaks loose at the prison. There's a riot and all these criminals get loose and you got to make your way out. And I thought that'd be an excellent funnel because you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
So I started messing around with that. So I was working on that today, and then finishing touches on X Crawl Rodeo. Book is gonna look great. Art, Joey just killed it. He's
Joey Docile is who we're talking about.
Docile. He did an excellent job on the art for that. So we're putting the finishing touches before that goes live on the 11th, and I'm excited to get my take on the Dog Soldier in there a little bit, And I'm a huge Western, uh, history buff. So
Right.
I was very when David offered that up or asked, I was extremely excited to jump into that. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Is that enough?
That's pretty
Uh,
good. You have to.
and managing life and kids and getting kids to baseball practice, and I went riding today. Went out to the desert, roamed around for a couple hours. Got my horse, going. So
But you had a
he,
special mission that people don't know about, and we're not going to really talk about, but just so I can have my answer, was that a positive or negative special mission? Do you
wait.
remember? Yeah.
Oh,
Last
what's
we talked about privately you going out to search for a certain something.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, yeah. We thought it was super positive, and unfortunately, no.
But you did come to a conclusion on that, definitive.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was sad,
I'm sorry about
honestly.
that.
Well, we got excited because it was like okay, and then it was like that. And I don't think it's really a secret. I mean, I went out looking for a dog. I'm a huge dog lover and a horse lover. I don't mind cats. I'm not David Beatty.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
I
not many of us are. You know
yeah.
what you have to do that? My goodness.
Yeah. The but I went. I was asked to go out and help look for this dog that was lost out in the desert on the north side of the. Well, I guess it's north, depending on how you look at it, but
Mhm.
the opposite side of the river. So we had to cross the river, go over. Salt River is down where I live. We thought we had a good outcome. I tracked the dog in there. Thought I had paw prints going, and we never did find him. But then we got word from another rescue that they'd found him. So we were like, okay, cool, and we are all excited. But then I guess he had tangled with some javelinas, and javelina is a giant rodent, but
Oh, wow.
it looks like a boar, but smaller. But it's actually a rodent. It's called I'm going to screw this up. It's a peccary. I can't
Okay.
think of the full name of it, but it's a giant rodent. I mean, it looks like a pig, and they can be quite nasty
Yeah.
if you mess with them or they're young. And I guess the dog must have done that because the dog was gored, and I guess they just didn't get to him in time. So
Mm.
bad. Unfortunately for me, that was heartbreaking.
Sure.
One of those things for me is like, man, if I would have went out the day before, could I have grabbed this thing before it? But you can't save all animals. It's just one of those things. I mean, David and I have had this discussion. Like,
Yeah.
I it's funny because uh, sometimes I think I care about animals more than people, and I don't say that being proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it either. I actually just generally enjoy my animals, and
Well, they're less complicated.
yeah, they're they I don't know. I like dogs too. I mean, I've always been a dog person. So
Sure.
Dave says all I need is one cat to change all that. But I
Well,
don't think that's going to happen. I
I've
have
got
three
an
dogs.
I've got an out in which I am fairly badly allergic to cats. So
There you
Dave
go.
has been pushing cats on me for a long time. I have to dope myself up whenever I go to his house sometimes. Well, every time. So and whenever they if they jump on me or something, it's like kryptonite on me. I'm like I freeze up and I'm like,
Yeah,
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
yeah.
Uh
I just I don't. People love the independence of cats, but I love that a dog will get super excited when I'm home and like jump all over me and be like, generally like nobody does that. Like you don't meet a person and they're like super like, shaking back and forth, so excited when they get to see you. Maybe your
yeah.
kids when they're super little when you walk in the door, but other than that, like the dog is like, I mean, he's doing cartwheels or she's doing cartwheels
Yeah.
when you walk in the door. I just kind of like that. Where a cat's like, if you come near me, I'll claw you to death.
Yeah.
And it's just
You just
and then
I'll judge you from afar here.
yeah, I'm judging from it. It's
Like,
just
I'll look at you and be like, you know,
yeah,
I tolerate you.
yeah. That's just I don't know. And the most of the time I like a cat when they act like a dog. So it's a
Yeah.
weird thing that so I don't have cats. But,
I get it, man. I get it. I mean, I think cats look cool and they do some cool stuff, and I would love to be able to, you know, really hold one and stuff, but I'm like, "Nah, I'm not doing it. It's not worth it."
yeah,
I touch my eyes and all of a sudden I'm, kill me." Um, but
yeah.
it's all good. Did you so you I see you got the Weird Frontiers t-shirt and,
Oh yeah.
you're working on Weird Frontier stuff, and,
Mhm.
was it interesting to go back and, like, you had to crack open the book again and kinda be like, "Alright," like,
No,
what
I've got the sequel to Massacre Grounds already written. It's just time.
Mhm.
I write quite a bit. I try to spend a little bit each day writing. and I'm David calls me Rain Man when I write stuff because I really get into like kicks. But I work on several projects at the same time because as a writer you get blocked. Like right now I'm blocked on Alcatraz, but it's more like I'm blocked in my own head because I've got to make up what it would be, and I'm looking at what it was, and I'm
Hmm.
looking at military because I it's funny because I want to be like I'm OCD. I want it to be somewhat historically accurate,
Right.
but there was a transition in 1933 to a federal prison. Before that, it was a military prison. But so they had World War One prisoners there, Spanish American War. But then it was kind of this more secret installation. And then when David in the book, it lists Alcatraz prison as the base of like occult operations or something. And
Mhm.
I was like, it kind of gave me an idea, like, okay, that would be kind of cool. And it was, like a little island in itself. Like when it was the military thing, I mean, there's buildings, and when the people live there, it's really a kind of a cool story and everything they do. So I get stuck because I'm like, okay, this is not right, this is not right, and then I just have to stop and put it down. So then I'll go write something else. And when nothing else, I can't figure anything else. I'm doing like a Weird Frontiers uh, monster manual, and it won't be
Mhm.
called Monster Manual, obviously, because
Right.
that's a, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So
Somebody owns that.
somebody owns that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll write like I'll just sit there. Okay, what monster am I going to create today? And I used to be able. I used to hold myself to writing 2 monsters a day, but then I felt like I wasn't having fun and I was forcing it.
Yeah.
But when I'm out in the desert, like I'm thinking, okay, especially wandering around on a horse, I'm like, okay, what would attack me right now? And that sounds kind of bizarre, but I don't know. I play that game all the time, so I do some weird stuff. Like if you guys know what mistletoe is,
Yeah.
in Christmas, your aunt made you, she would jump on you under the mistletoe under your, at the at house,
Yeah.
she'd give you, it's the aunt, the mustache like mine, she would attack you and give you kisses. Well, that's actually an invasive species in Arizona. It's not common here, and it's not the little leaves and the little holly and all that
Really?
stuff. It's not. It's a really ugly, invasive, like spidery looking plant that's like got some red in it. In Arizona, we don't get the fancy looking stuff. We get this, and it's an invasive species, and it's actually killing a lot of our indigenous plants. It
Huh.
grows in some of the mesquite trees. I'm not sure the Palo Verdes, but it basically goes in and it just sucks all the moisture out of the tree and it kills it. So it's
Huh.
a huge invasive species here, and a lot of parts of the country. I always thought, oh, it's just the friendly thing that you put up at holidays. So I was like, what if it was Miss Isle toe? And so then it went from there, and that was so it'll it looks
Shoot
kind of like
darts.
a spider.
Uh-huh.
It looks like this hairy spider, but yeah, it kind of shoots darts at you, and then it'll crawl up the thing.
You know about darts shooting,
Yeah,
right? Missiles shooting, right?
yeah. So it'll just be like, yeah, I play around with that, and I have some fun, and then I write like a bunch of different projects at the same time. Uh, the it's just my process, and other people have different processes of what
Hey,
gets
that's good
done.
process, man. If you can stay active and doing something, constructive like that, that's good. I think that's a lot of the it's difficult just to get going, you know what I mean? So actually
Oh yeah,
staying on it is good.
yeah. It's for me, I it's my relaxation. Like, as a dad of three, when they were little kids, their problems tended to be small, but now one's 18, one's 26. And when they hand me a problem, it's like,
Right.
you got to sit and think. And, they're great kids, and they're great young men, and they do what they can. But like a lot of times it's like when they were little, it was easy to solve their problems. When they're older, so it's a lot of times like stress. I'll
Right.
just sit and
Gets more
write.
complicated.
Yeah, and I have fun with it. It's like I don't have any illusions that I'm going to be this like world renowned author that I'm gonna I would be like to like make some money. I mean, it'd be great.
Sure. Money's
Um,
good.
money's good, but in the meantime, I'm having a great time doing it. Working with guys that I've said this a bunch, but I've worked with I have to be really careful with Joey because if I call him or text him and like, hey, what would this look like? I usually get a sketch within a couple of hours.
Right, right.
And I try not to do that to him because then it gets him distracted, and he's working on other projects right now. And
He wants to help.
we're in a holding pattern for we just got to get. That's the other thing too is the process for producing something. People are like, oh, you just write it and put it out. It's like, well, No, because you can't, like, the way I write, I could put out 4 books right now that are ready to roll.
Mhm.
And it's just like, it's, somewhat marketing. You can't hit people constantly for Kickstarters. Um, I'm getting ready to run next week at LongCon. I've play tested it before, but I'm going to actually, it'll be the first time run live out in the wild, would be the um, Siege on Gnome Island, which was part of the Dungeon Dwelling Creatures Kickstarter.
Okay.
So that's going to be run. We'll get as far as we can through it. It's a pretty big adventure, but I figure we'll have some fun with it. John's excited. We've been talking back and forth. I've got some spells, some Toag powers for that book too that are going in there. I just got done writing. So at LongCon, we're going to preview all that. The Toag, if you come to the table, I'm going to encourage you to play a Toag, because you got, like, I think 9 or 10 different new powers for the Toag, which is like a toad, which is a cool thing. I think in the book, you ever read something, you're like, man, that just scratches the surface, and that could be a lot better.
Yeah.
It's basically basically anything that David writes, you're like, oh, that could be better. Kind of like that.
That's a good start.
that's a good start, David.
There's some effort I can find.
Unless it's about a clown or a cat. I mean, that dude's lost. He doesn't know what he's doing.
There's some passion in there somewhere.
I'm going to get him to come on this show. You'll be like, okay.
Yeah, he knows we talk about it. We talk about him enough. He's a spooky monster unto himself. I mean, he's been watching all these movies. He's one of his own.
Yeah, he's unique though. I mean, he sends me stuff he writes. I'm like, wow, that's really different. So he has a very distinctly different writing style than I. And right. I write in so many different styles. I actually got to pick one at one point. But I have, yeah, I don't know. I just think, I'll show my versatility. I'll just do a little bit of everything. And I've got to really slow down and just be like, okay, I'm going to concentrate on these 3 or 4 genres. But
here we go.
I'm having fun. There's Nick.
Here we go. Nick.
Hello. Sorry for being tardy.
No, you're not tardy, man. You say you drop in whenever you want. This is Nick Baran, right?
Correct.
All right. And we've got, do you know Matt D'Amico? Have you heard? Have y'all seen each other's work?
I don't know.
Hi, Nick. It's nice to meet you. I'm, I don't know that you know me now. I don't know if
introduce yourself, Matt. And then Nick, you can do the same.
So I run Cranky Clydesdale Publishing. I've had only a few books out so far. So I've had the Port Mirror Kickstarter just recently, the Siege on Gnome Island, part of the Dungeon Dwelling Creatures Kickstarter, and then before that I had Massacre Grounds, a Weird Frontiers adventure.
Oh, very good.
And you're working on some stuff too.
Yeah, I'm working on stuff all the time. But
X-Crawl Rodeo.
X-Crawl Rodeo is good. Yes, sorry.
No, you're okay.
X-Crawl Rodeo is going to kick up backer kit in November.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Hopefully, it'll be. You have to get the people excited about it, though. They have to. What is it called? They're not backing it. They're just liking it. Is that what it is?
Liking or follow. Yeah. They just basically have to. I have kind of mixed feelings about this. I never want to bother anybody. It's like, it's just like, you don't want to constantly get hassled. And so, yeah, they want you to basically sign up to get notified about the project. And then the nice thing about it is we're going to have something that when you go live in the first 48 hours, you get some prizes or a reward. Because, I mean, that's the only way to do that. If you give up your email and you get annoyed by my staying. So, I mean, it's a fair way to do it, I think.
It's good to get that early kind of buzz that you want. People want to get that stuff. Nick's trying to figure out his lighting situation. He's like, I got the sun in front of me.
Yeah, we all have that issue. I'm looking a little red today, so I'm happy. I rode today. I look a little red.
Despite what David Beatty said, I do still think you need something in front of you. See, I got this in front of me, and it can blind me like that. Ugh.
Yep.
And then that. I go to the lowest one just to get a little bit of light on you. But Nick, you introduce yourself and what you make, and telling you about what you got coming in the future. That's just kind of how this is. I know this is the first time you've been on, and I've done videos on your products, and we've been in communication with each other over the years. And you've sent me some great stuff here, which I have right here to show that I love those darks, man. I
stuff.
love those darks. I don't know how you get black ink that black, but it's really, really black. And I'm always like, wow, that's really black. That's really great. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself to Matt and to the people that are watching.
That's my shtick.
Yeah.
The darkest black.
The darkest black. He does. I look through it and I'm like, that's black.
So I am Nick Baran. I do Breaker Press Games. I originally started as a miniature company. I originally did a game called Broken Contract that did not get much traction, but it was a skirmish war game that was worker insurrection in a dystopian future. That was the tagline of Broken Contract, and it never took off. And so I fell in love while I was working on that project. I got introduced to Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I fell in love with the game. And I started writing first an adventure, and then a couple of classes and things to go along with my table. And everything just kind of spiraled out of control. And now I have this whole empire of zines based around Stennard. As far as
the Balladeer here, he's sitting in that one. And I apologize if I didn't do videos on all of them yet. I know you sent me a bunch of stuff, and then sometimes
I did, but it's okay. You took some time off at one point.
Yeah, I did.
Well, before you took time off, you were doing the free free stuff every day, and I was like, how does he have time to do all these videos?
Yeah, I was doing that. I don't know if I was working at the time, honestly. Okay. I might have been unemployed, and that's how I did it. But that was a cool thing so it was a lot of work because I had to make sure I went there every day and do them. And I was pretty much spotlighting, what is this? What is this? It showed up on my feed. I don't know. It's just three guys talking about role-playing games, to be honest with you. Well, I mean, DCC related stuff right now. But I did a bunch of those, and it was just where it was just so many. And then what would happen? It was actually pretty good because I'd have some people that didn't expect their product, which it was, Matt. If you don't know about him, it was spotlighting Pay What You Want and
I know a couple of his classes because I've referred
free.
To him. The Balladeer was one, which is and then you have a couple more classes that are pretty cool too. I'm lost. My brain went left, but I know I have them. I have to just go look for them.
Because you're a DCC guy. We're all DCC guys, I think.
Yeah. And, do you have not a gnome class? There's another. I can't think right now. I'm sorry.
If it was a non-human, I got the canine and I got the goat. Because I don't do humans in my setting, and so I do grimdark survival horror. That's the shtick around Stennard. So I wrote this adventure and I introduced this town name Stennard, and then everything spun off of that. Technically from a misheard song lyric in a Celtic Frost song.
That's great. I wonder where you came up with that name. I was like,
as far as what I want to send you this. I was going to reach out to you this week anyway. The Stennard Courier Volume 2 is now shipping. And I did a beautiful, in my opinion, Stennard town map, which here's an uncut one. It's a
there you go.
Fold out map. This one has not been cut yet.
Wow.
It's
got the whole thing.
Very cool.
Oh, that is cool. Because you've got a map somewhere. I know you've sent me that. And now here's a question for you: are the products that you make, are these all like hand? Do you hand do these?
No. So most of my stuff is printed at Digicopy, which is a mile down the road.
Okay.
In fact, I will sometimes, like, because this is my full-time job. It sometimes can be lonely, just me and a dog. Right. And so I will go and hang out at my copy shop just to, like, have social interaction.
But he did say dog and not cat. See,
I did say dog. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is the map I saw from the desperation of the.
So that is a tiny like bit. If you look at this giant map, this big map, essentially that is All right.
Oh wow,
Get it on the screen.
that's
So
awesome, dude.
there is the common fire right
Mhm.
there, and the so basically what you were looking at is just this section right here.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I dig the stuff you give me. They you can feel the ink on it almost. That's how much ink is on these things. I'm like, is this like, did someone actually draw this on the cover? Like that's how I felt about some of it. I would kind of grab it and be like, wow, this is again very dark. And like those blacks are just rocking. But I think it's great, man. I like kind of the size of your stuff too. Like these kind of pamphlet type stuff right here around the common fire. And like I said, man, I apologize if I have not done videos on all this stuff.
Oh,
Um, it's one of those things where it's like I get some stuff, and like you said, I took a break, and then it was kind of like, oh man, what did I have left to do? And I was like, you know what? It breaking my mind trying to go back in time of stuff that was sent to me, and I was like, well, hopefully it'll be okay, or I can spotlight it in one video down the road, and then something gets in my face. But that's how we started talking.
yeah,
I think you just kind of reached out to me, and of course, I follow your. He has his own YouTube channel where he talks about a lot of this stuff as well that he's releasing, and no, I'm so glad that you're able to get on this live stream here, and who knows who else may show up because, like I said, you never know. It's people message me out of the blue and say when this is going on and say, hey, I can jump in. So, but you know what? Since we got y'all guys, if you have anything else with Nick, let's go ahead and let's continue with Nick. What you got? Is there anything down the road, even more that you're working on that you can talk about?
Yeah, I'm currently shipping the Standard Courier Volume 2. I have to finish up. I did a Kickstarter for a box set last year called Horrors of the Whispering Wood,
Right.
which you can still late back.
Okay.
And then the next thing was supposed to be my DCC Day thing for this year. I missed the deadline, and then missed the next deadline, and then missed the bonus deadline.
Oh no.
But this art behind me, move my head. There it is.
Go.
It's art
There you
behind
go.
me is the same barn from Wide-Eyed Terror, which you held up a minute ago.
Yeah.
I decided to do an expanded version of that adventure because that version plays in about 2 hours, two and a half. I wanted to get it, con length.
I don't think I did a video on this. I will. I will.
Yeah. And so I expanded that adventure a little bit, and that'll be my next crowdfund will be for
Really dig
Wide-Eyed Terror.
Really dig a lot of your art too. Like that. That's a really good piece. You use Carlos a lot.
I haven't used Carlos in a bit. Carlos got too backed up with all of the stuff that he was doing for like Old School Essentials and then Shadow Dark. And so because he has his art group of 4 people, Ink Potion Studios, and he got me hooked up with Ricardo Gaspar.
Okay.
And Ricardo Gaspar did the art behind me. Keep moving my head.
There you go.
He did the art behind me, and he's done most of the illustrations in the last year and a half.
That's great. So working well with each other. That's awesome. So, and of course, just send me whatever links that you want to send me, and I'll put it in the description, and I'll do a pinned comment so people can go check out. And you said you got that late backer thing, and so do you play Old School Essentials? Is that something you have? Do either of y'all have that, Matt?
Yeah, I've got some of the books.
And Nick, you got it?
I own the Old School Essential books. I read them, and as I was reading them, I was like, everything from playing Moldvay Basic just came flooding back to me, but I have not played it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
But I'm very excited.
He's got something else.
I'm going to step away from the screen.
Go for it. Get what you got to get. We're going to talk about that a little bit and get y'all's opinion on some stuff with that. Oh my goodness.
All of my Dolmenwood stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so
Show it off.
I backed this Kickstarter, and stuff arrived yesterday, and I didn't even realize.
Let's spotlight you. Here, you're spotlighted.
All right, so here's the players.
Oh, wow. Is that full size?
Yeah, those are full sized. I expect them to be the smaller, and they're not. I'm most excited for the monster book because I absolutely love. I'll flip to a page. let's see if I can get this in
Oh
here.
wow, yeah, that
You see
looks
all those
great.
tables at the bottom?
Uh-huh.
The tables at the bottom, you've got your body shape, your traits, your encounters, layers, collections of things that the monsters collect.
Mhm.
And so there's all these little cool tables that really give the monsters more depth. And I was like, I backed the Kickstarter, and then I was flipping through the PDF, and I'm like, I'm totally stealing that.
You're
Uh,
like, yeah, steal what you can when it comes to cool design and adding stuff like that. That's what I say.
yeah, and
So,
so the campaign book is an absolute
oh my
monster.
gosh.
Um,
We're getting up to a quarter of the Weird Frontiers level right there, Matt.
Yeah, and then there's a separate map book.
Oh wow.
That's a skinny guy.
I did not
Um,
know they were going to be full-size books. I thought they were going to be
yeah, the half size. And so I got
yeah, they're going to be this size.
yeah, and so I got so I remembered that I backed all of that stuff. But then and I figured that I backed Winter's Daughter,
Yeah.
which is a half size.
Yeah, I got a copy of that too.
But also that shipped with it is the Ruined Abbey of Saint Clude, the fungus that came to Blackswell,
Wow.
and Imelda's Song.
You were set up with that.
Yeah, so and it's funny because I will probably never run it, but I will read it all and gratuitously steal from it.
It's research. It's like school books research,
It is.
you know.
That,
Um
that is the number one reason why I back stuff is to, especially because I'm sure you guys and some of your viewers know Questing Beast.
yeah.
But when I started writing stuff, I got super excited about Questing Beast's videos, Ben Milton's videos, because he broke down books. It was, for me, it was less about the like mechanical things and what have you. He broke down the design and layout of things and how they were functional at the table,
Right.
and that I became obsessed with. And so
So now you're like, I must have the and I think it shows in your products. You know, I mean, I can see that in some of the stuff that you've done with like your tables and things like that. Like I like your stat blocks. You know, I know I showed that earlier, but there's a stat block for it, so I dig that. Dolan Wood was something that honestly I backed Planet of the Apes role playing game so hard that it was just like it was kind of like Sauron, like when he blew up. You know what I mean? In the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring, where it was just like boom, and like all other Kickstarters just got like pushed away, and I was like, I can't do it because the level that I wanted to go on that Kickstarter was like, it was up the way I went with Planet of the Apes. So it was like, I can't do it, man. You know? And I was like, you know what? I'll get them down the road. I'll get them down the road. They'll show up. It'll be there, you know? And I think it's really cool. I do have I have Winter's Daughter, which I need to do a video about that. I just found that the other day. But the reason also I bring that up is I know that Eric Timcar did a video on, I don't know if y'all saw that you know, Exalted Funeral, Necrotic Gnome, and them, they're getting rid of the classic books, and they're doing just 2 books for 2026, getting rid of the OGL, and they're doing some tweaks and stuff like that. And I was having lunch with the wife, and of course you know, she's listening, and she's just like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, I don't know if I need to get those books. Do I need those books? I've got so many books for old school. You know, I was just doing that thing that I know that we all do, where we're like, okay, so, and this is my thing is like, I feel, and this is one of the problems I have with role playing games in general, is that these new editions come out or these new printings come out, and they're like, they've just got a little bit of something different, and then they got new art on the cover maybe, or they're laid out differently, or they got little things like that, and it's not really that impressive. It's not that big of a jump, but like that collectionist in us kind of goes, I need to have that, but then it makes me go, these are the real books. You know what I mean? Like, these are the new books. These are the books we should be working with. And then you look at your old ones and you're like, you've disappointed me. You know what I'm saying? Does that make, and I'll be honest with you, I hate that feeling. It has to do with, you know, role playing games do that a bunch. And I look and I'm like, you know what? No, I don't think I will. I actually like classic old school essentials. It's actually my preferred version of it. Because I'm a big second edition D&D guy. So, and I like advanced as well, old school essentials. But like once it starts getting up to that level, I'm like, I'll just play second edition. Like it's like this level that goes up, and I'm like, oh, you've hit second edition level. So I don't know. I tend to play classic old school essentials. When I'm playing that game, I want less. Does that make sense? Like I don't want white box easy, which I enjoy as well, but I want that basic experience. Does that make sense to y'all?
This is the big thing about the books, and I've sat with a couple of people and been like, I don't need this. I know I can run this from memory. But when you go with these books, it's like, and you're sitting at a table and you can actually split them. You can split them up and be like, okay, this is your character guide.
Yep.
And so I'm going opposite. So this is a really cool thing about this book. So if you're running a game around a table, especially at a con, and you're running this, you're like, here.
Yep.
And the only drawback for me is that they're a little bit expensive.
Yeah.
They're absolutely gorgeous. That Dolman would instantly now I want it because they're actually gorgeous books. The layout is spectacular. In them, I mean, it's done really good. It's just that you're absolutely right. You're buying something you already know.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like writing stuff for old school D&D is super cool, but you're also not appealing to a new audience. So, like, it's a rough,
it's a slippery slope, man.
Yeah, I could put some and Nick, you might have a different opinion. If you put something out in DCC, if somebody wants to run it in OSR, they absolutely can. It's not hard to convert. So it's just like when you put something out in OSR, some people will just jump on it and love it, and other people are like, But I've asked a lot of OSR guys, if I put something on DCC, if you like it, could you convert it? They're like, yeah. I convert stuff to Pathfinder because my guys constantly like to play Pathfinder. I'm like, it drives me nuts. I'm like, play something else. But they love. I have a couple guys that just show up every week, and I'm like, all right, fine, I'll run it to Pathfinder. So I have to do conversions and stuff like that. But I like nice shiny books, and like that Dolman looks awesome. But like when you're running a game and you're like, okay, I got my monsters, you got my magic book, I've got treasure. And you're like, you can hand somebody this and say, okay, make a character real quick. And you hand them the character book and you're like, okay, they've got their stuff. It's a really cool way to do it.
It is. And I don't know if they're going to do the box sets, the little books anymore. They just talked about the 2 books. And I don't know if y'all saw that release that they did. And they also said, they're getting away from the OGL, which I completely understand that. And I don't know to what extent they're going to get away from it. But I'm also kind of D&D elitist where I'm like, I kind of want those terms. I don't want to see basic D&D using other terms. Is that nutty? Does that make sense?
Here's the things. I don't think that you're going to like getting away from the OGL doesn't necessarily mean using all your own vernacular for everything.
Right.
Because the argument is that it has not been challenged in court, but game mechanics are not
copyright
or copyright. And so essentially proper names like Beholder are, but strength, agility, strength, dexterity, constitution.
Right.
I'm sorry, my brain immediately goes to DCC now.
Sure.
Default. But those are just generic terms. It's the whole reason why totally different field, but also gaming. The reason why Games Workshop went from Eldar to Eldiri and started renaming all of their stuff that had generic names was because of the fact that they wanted stuff that they could trademark versus stuff that can just be common. So.
Right. No, I'm definitely with you in that regard. I don't know. The completion in me might pick them up, those 2 books. I don't need them. I have plenty of copies of advanced and basic, or classic as they call it. And they're tweaking some classes that are like assassin and barbarian, like kind of like classes that are not like, and that's the thing too, is like, how much are they really changing? Like, oh, there's small changes. It's obviously where someone just said, hey, look, this experience doesn't really work with this class because of this or this +1. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, it's not balanced as it is for me. I don't really care. Balance is not an issue for me at all. So I'm like, I don't really care about that change. I am interested in the art. Some people did bring up that they don't like some of the newer art that they've used in old school Central products, a little bit cartoony. I still think it has a cool vibe to it, but we'll have to see. And it says 200 pieces of new art. So that should be interesting to see. And I mean, it's something that I'll look at and see what but I will be getting, like, they've got a new starter set. They got, like, I think it's going to be a box set. It says it's 3 books. So it's going to be a new starter set. And I really just want it for the adventure in there and for the YouTube channel. I can show stuff off in that regard. And there's also like a book about demons. And I mean, it's neat. It sounds neat. I don't really mess with demon too much. Not because of anything myself. I don't go that level. I don't go to that realm too much. I'm like, I don't know if I need like a 176-page book on all demon stuff. And I have like a demon hunter class that could be cool. But I think that they're still trying to be, with the change, they're still trying to be, I think with OSR, you've got to kind of stay ahead of it or you'll labyrinth lord. You know what I mean? You'll fall back quickly. You'll quickly fall back. Even though Shadow Dark is making its trek in the trajectory that it's going. I do feel that other games need to do like they're doing and say, okay, we got this and we got these little adventures and we're still out there. Because if you don't, you're quickly last week's news type thing. But yeah, it was interesting thing that made me, of course, wonder if I needed to add it to my collection. Which honestly, that gets exhausting sometimes. Where I'm like, they put out another edition of that. Do I want to buy that? Do I really need it? Am I playing that game enough? That's one of my problems. Is I buy these games. We got all these games, and I see people's shelves, and I'm like, how are you playing those? And then it would irk me to know that I never played that game and they put out another edition. And I've got to like rinse and wash it over again and I'm like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. It's
that is one of the things that one I love about Dungeon Crawl Classics, because they're like, we just do printings, we're not doing further editions.
Right.
But at the same time, I love doing all of my products as zines first, because I am building towards something, and along the way, like my canine class, I realized that it had a what I felt was a design flaw. And so then I did the Canine 2.0 because I am tweaking it and getting it ready for something greater at a later date.
That's an easy way to do it too. You're not making a huge print run of something. You buy them all, then write them off as a work expense for your literary reference library. That's what Bert Isla has just said from
Hey Bert
of Steam, Steel, and Murder. Love that name. Yeah, you're right. That's right, Bert. You could do that. And I do think a lot of times now my purchases, I'm like, that's a YouTube channel. That's the YouTube channel video. I can make a video out of that. I need it. I tell the wife I need it for YouTube reasons, and then so I don't know. It was just something I wanted to talk to people about, and I saw Tenkar kind of broke that story because I mean I'm not checking Necrotic Gnomes thing every single time, every day.
Right.
But the next topic, if we're ready to move on to that, which I'm not sure if let me see if I have it. I thought I did. Give me just 1 second here. Yes, here we go. I'm going to show something to y'all. I have to find it. Don't you love when like you save something and then like you're like, okay, where did that save go to? Where did that picture go to? I hate that. And like sometimes it'll do it okay, and I'm like, okay, this is all right. It keeps on going there. I like that. And then I'm sometimes like, well, you went somewhere different, and it's this that was announced today from Goodman Games. Pinball Crawl Classics. Did y'all see that?
I didn't.
Let me do this right here. We'll move us down there. There we go. So yeah, crowdfund in January 2026, Pinball Crawl Classics. It's going to have 5 adventures. I think it's 5 adventures. I should probably do my work and have the thing up in front of me. And it's going to be they're going to do it, I think, on backer kit, and it's going to be based off these pinball games from like the 70s and 80s. Now, I always used to go to like the IP pinball game. I'd go and see like a Star Wars or Goonies or something like that. I would always jump to the IP thing. But they announced this today, and it's going to be 5 complete adventures for DCC and MCC for levels 1 to 5. It says it's going to be filled with unique encounters inspired by the classic titles. And then it has like a video of Joseph Goodman going around and like playing the different games. So they bought the rights to make these. It's going to be $69.99, and a deluxe clamshell edition will be available as a crowdfunding exclusive. But it will be in a box set. The normal one will be in a box set. So I will probably link that to that kind of release that they did there. What do y'all think about that? Is that something that interests you or no? They're pretty much looking at the covers, from what I could gather, and what he said in the video. They looked at the art that they had for the pinball machines, and they just came up with an adventure from the art. What do you think about that?
Who are they using as the writers? Do you know?
I don't know. It does not say yet.
I can already tell you, inside baseball, that
Yes.
at least Brendan LaSalle is working on one of them.
Makes sense.
Talked
That makes
about it
sense,
when
big time.
Probably a Michael Curtis in there too. If I was putting money on it, but who knows? I could be wrong about that. But no, I mean, I think it's a neat idea. I'm not exactly sure why they called it Crawl Classics though, because
it's going to use the DCC system.
Gotcha, but it's not going to have it's not like its own separate. I wonder if people are going to be like, is there a core book I need to get with it? You know what I mean? Like because Crawl or Classic, like DCC, MCC.
Yeah. I think the part of the reason why they have the DCC RPG logo at the bottom of that is to cue people in,
right,
for DCC.
I think it might be 5th edition too. Because they've been doing DCC and 5th edition stuff. But
at first look, I mean, there's some cool monsters in there. Obviously,
let's take a
look.
look.
Gorgar is going to be, a
demon.
Yeah, it's going to be a demon. They got a centaur in there. I mean, I imagine it's going to be pretty. And they have cosmic gunfight.
Gunfight, yeah.
I mean,
we already know Brandon's feelings on demons.
Yeah.
I think it's just too much. I like the work. It's just I don't want to always do. I'm not like I gotta have a whole book full of demons. Like nothing but demons.
The every time I'm kind of mediocre about stuff, it tends to come in and impress me. I think this is one of those things where I'd be lukewarm about it. But then once I got the first when he went out, when I asked, let's try that whole sentence again. When I asked who was writing it, I'm thinking, okay, Brendan is perfect for this. And then, they get good writers and there'll be good adventures, and they're based on, I mean, a centaur would be an awesome adventure. I'd like to play that. So, outer space gunfight. Yeah. That sounds pretty cool. Some cosmic, pulp, Flash Gordon era, stuff would be super cool.
Embryon, Swords of Fury, Gorgar, Cosmic Gunfight, and Centaur. It says, can your adventures triumph against Gorgar? Do they have the nerves to face off in a cosmic gunfight? Will they find themselves transformed when exposed to, I guess it's Embryon? Embron? I'm not sure. Dare they draw the Swords of Fury, or will they be run down by Centaur? The only way to find out is to insert your quarters and try not to tilt. So, it's interesting. It was a surprise. It was definitely a surprise for me when I saw their release. I was like, what? What's going on? And they're doing backer kit. Now, did they do that for any of the other ones yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. DCC's gone all in with that backer kit.
They did do some Kickstarter, didn't they? What did they do?
I think the last Kickstarter that they did was Dungeon Denizens 1.
Okay.
And then I think everything since then has been backer kit.
Okay. Cool. Let's we're gonna move this around here. We're gonna get this out of here. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see more from it, And how were we? I think we were like this. We'll put Nick in the middle. There we go. But what else y'all got? Y'all got anything that?
Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting to give.
Oh, cool.
So that will be in the next With Mail Kickstarter, but I think we're gonna change the colors.
Oh yeah.
I know that. Ian Rucker, I just I want this to pop a little bit more in the middle.
Okay.
But I got this in. Ian Rucker did it for me, so we'll do it on the next With Mail Kickstarter. Which will be called The Winged Skull, the book that is but didn't run or didn't go.
Yeah, didn't make it.
So, and I keep forgetting to show that off. I think I'm going to say he nailed it, and he's like, okay, give me some feedback. I'm like, I just want a different color in the middle so the With Mail stands out a little bit. Yeah. And it is very Dragonlance, but as everybody knows, I'm a big fanboy of Margaret and Tracy. So
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Dragonlance, it did a lot of weightlifting for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like that was heavy work that they did. I think those books were for a lot of people. It was the gateway. So
a lot of people. They when those books came out, it's like it really brought I think a whole generation into really reading
Mhm.
other than just reading stat books, into just sitting down and like reading a novel, and
Right.
then and then obviously the Greyhawk books, and then all that stuff from there. So yeah, it's a great part of my childhood.
Definitely.
So I hope they always think it's like a compliment, not I'm trying to rip them off. I
Oh
think
no,
it's super cool that it's something similar. But yeah, so
inspired by.
we took the logo, and Ian took it and then put it out into a dice tray.
Right.
It's super cool, and I keep forgetting to show it off. So
That's cool. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's Ian did a great job, and he's also working on he's got the dice trays for dungeon dwelling creatures. But now there's going to be pinball. I mean, like your brain's going to get overloaded. It's like
Hey,
all
they're
these
not.
three-word monikers.
Well, I got to give them that. They're not sitting around just going, "Hey, just still buy DCC," And there's other choices and stuff you can buy. But the inspiration from like Dragonlance, I think is cool. There was, I've for a long time I've been a Tool fan. I love Tool, and like years and years go by, and then you hear these bands and people go, "Oh, they sound like Tool," and I'm like, "Well, isn't that a good thing? Don't we want that? Tool's not gonna be around forever. Like, don't you want like people to be inspired and try to kind of emulate that a little bit? Like, that's how you get genres of music. That's how you get kind of like, this band sounds like Tool. I'm like, oh, that's not bad because at the time we were waiting like however many like a decade for a Tool album. I was like, well, they're sitting around getting old. These guys are making it. So I feel the same way like in role playing thing. It's like, well, we're inspired by, what we like, and if not, then it would just be done and gone, and they would never. Oh, remember that? Those are the only guys that could do that. So I don't know.
Well,
Brandon, you're speaking my language.
Okay.
Um, one of the things, because I played in hardcore punk bands for years and years, and it's like all the bands that I played in all pulled from like 80s hardcore punk,
Right.
And we always put our own spin on things, but clearly we were emulating certain types of bands and doing our own thing with it. And to this day, bands continue to refine and reimagine and refine and reimagine. And so it's like, yeah, I'm 52 years old and I still buy records from bands that are a bunch of 18-year-olds, 18 to 20-year-olds that are slogging across the country in a minivan,
Right.
because that's how you get cool new stuff.
Right.
And it's interesting because a lot of the people that back my stuff end up being old punks like me. Some of them are actually in bands that my band played with.
Oh, that's wild, dude. That's awesome.
So yeah.
But no, I get it, and I think that Tool will eventually lose it. Every band, and I personally believe they have already. But I mean, it's one of those things where you're not always going to be able to recapture what especially if you go a long time, and music changes, the people change, their behaviors change, and I think it's the same like that through a lot of stuff where you like. I know there's just been some stuff where I've been like, well, that's okay. Like there what's that band called? The kid that sounds like Led Zeppelin. He sounds like God, what are their names?
To the new band?
It's late, man. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Well, the kid sounds just like how many play instruments or sing? We should form a band. I'll cover bass. That's what Bert says. Let me see.
Yeah, Matt is not going to be in that band.
Oh, Greta Van Fleet.
Okay.
So Greta Van Fleet. Have you ever heard them?
Nope.
Okay. So go check out the song Black Smoke Rising. Okay. And it's straight Led Zeppelin. Like early Led Zeppelin, screams and everything like that. And there's some videos you can find on YouTube of like them showing the video and like the music to older people. And they're like, whoa, like that's Led Zeppelin, and people were kind of dogging them, and I'm like, well, I don't see that's. It's not like the people were replicating terrible bands. You know what I'm saying? You never see that. Greta Van Fleet is Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I mean they are, and it's like, okay, well, it sounds like the songs that I like, so I'm not supposed to like that. I don't know. It's just, I mean, you obviously don't want all your music to be like that, But if there's just a band that's inspired by them and dig what they do. And it's kind of the same with like role-playing games and a lot of their stuff. Now, movies, I think, take it to an extreme where they can't come up with anything new. I saw a thing today that said that it's it's a mixture of lack of talent as well as not taking risks. They don't want to take
That
risks
is the
with
big
anything.
thing.
Yeah, it's all safe, safe, safe. That's why we have 4 Ghostbusters movies, 5 or however many there are. That's why we've got all this stuff. And it made sense to me. It is a lack of talent. And the lack of the talent for me comes from point of reference of their who they are. If their age, that's the thing. As we get older and people that are younger, how did they absorb entertainment the way that we did? How did they grow up with these things? They didn't. They consumed them differently. And this is how they kind of evolve from you might say, "Hey, I watched Jaws." Yeah, you watched it in 2002. You know what I mean? And so like it kind of how they come from Jaws in 2002 for seeing it the first time, then that's what they then become a creator. So does that make sense? Like, how that kind of does?
So you've brought up a point that I have a lot of feelings on, but I will. Matt, was there something you wanted to say?
No, go ahead. You're fired. Go.
So,
You're fired up.
um, so essentially, it's not. I don't think of it as a lack of talent so much as it is decision by committee, because you got a bunch of people that are pulling the money purse strings that want
Right.
to make sure that they are going to make a product, not art, a product that is
Correct.
going to appeal to the greatest number of people, because they want to make as much money as they can. And so they stick to your Star Wars, your Ghostbusters, your Marvel, all of these things in
Yep.
order to they're basically just data mining IPs
Right.
in order to keep those fans coming back, and they're not taking any risks.
Right.
Now, it's like when you watch videos about how the last Spider-Man movie was made, Spider-Man 3. Great movie. I loved it. But it literally was a movie that they had a full script for, and then um, did a bunch of scenes, and then they were like, "Oh, we can get Tobey Maguire in this. Oh, we can get the other guy who's
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
Garfield." Yes, and we can get their schedules are lining up. We can get them in, and so then they pull in them to do some more scenes, and before you know it, the movie that they started making is no longer the movie they're making. It is a cobbled together collection of scenes to make a story, and that I don't know about how you guys make art, but that is not how I make art.
Right.
Um,
No, definitely. That's not how it goes usually,
yeah,
and not to make something good at least. I mean that's the thing. If we think of, and that's when just a sidestep here, Nick. That's what's so fun about these. We get off on these tangents about
yeah,
comic books. Remember, Matt? We're talking about comic books. We're talking about movies. We'll talk about role playing games, and then it's just like I call it the back end, the second half. We just start talking about whatever nerd stuff we want, and I think it's kind of liberating a little bit. We've got an avenue to talk about these things, but like I still gravitate towards several directors, like I like Robert Edgers. I think he's cool. I think he's a guy who has passion for the art, and he's very authentic in what he's trying to create. I've enjoyed all his movies he's made. Some people haven't liked them, and that's fine. That's how it is nowadays. But he's someone that I know I can go towards and say, "Boom, this guy's gonna give it the respect it needs." Um, and I think that's just it's very very
Well,
rare now. Where
I think,
before it was all that everybody was just doing whatever.
yeah, I think with Star Wars especially, if Favreau's involved, you're like, you're going to get a good product. There's going to be respect for the title.
Right.
There's going to be he's going to do his history on it. It was when the stuff he did for Marvel, it was like, okay, there's going to be someone that like dug into this and put their teeth in it, and then other people get in with the Star Wars franchise, and like the 3 newest movies were just awful. It was bad, worse, and awful. And then I literally have never paid money and walked out. The last one I refused to pay money to go see. I was just disappointed and angry, and just it looked like something I did with my Star Wars figures in the backyard when I was 10 years old type thing. And I think we are starting to become, because we're a highly technology tech based society, people expect more, but we're getting less. We're
Right.
getting simple storytelling. I agree with Nick, is that a lot of people are worried about taking chances. They're
Yeah.
worried about
No
offending
risk.
people. And it's like, a good story is a good story. If a good story pisses you off, that means you're telling a good story. it's just like when you tell a story about Nazis, you shouldn't root for the Nazis. They were
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't tell stories about them. We should.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And then at the end, the good guy, maybe kills all the Nazis, and then we're happy.
Right.
Or whatever you're happy. But some people are so like, oh, well, we talk about that, that's bad. And it's like, it's a good story. It's just like I picked up an old JSA. Doing my pulp research means I have to get old JSA and copies for myself.
Of course.
Stuff.
It's research, project research.
So, and like lo and behold, I pick up this trade paperback, and they're fighting Hitler, and I was just like, oh. I was like, this is when we weren't really afraid we didn't care. We were like, we're not afraid of, we're telling a story. And so I think exactly what Nick said, I couldn't agree with it more. It's just like, I think we're so worried about offending somebody and so worried about thinking out of the box.
Safe. It's all about safe.
Yeah. And then
I don't even know if it's about offending. It's literally what is the least amount of effort we can put into something that will be safe and make us big returns.
That's the big thing, is the money. It's all about the money. I just a couple of nights ago rewatched Planet Terror.
Okay.
Part of Grindhouse.
Yes, I love Planet Terror. It's actually my preferred over the two, by the way.
Yeah, it is so absurd and so good.
Yep.
And the thing is that the big movie companies don't want to touch stuff like that.
No.
Like you might get an A24 movie like that
right
now, but you're not going to get any of the big production companies doing stuff like that.
But just think about, like, we've had Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica. What's the next one? I mean, there's been a couple of space genre TV shows. Of course, I'm drawing a blank right now, but the one where they were miners with the crystal endolite, entity, and I can't think of.
Pretty old.
It was a few years old, before COVID, I think. Expanse.
Well, I like the Expanse. I thought
it
the
was
last
good.
season. I thought it didn't end very well, like as good as it began.
But it's
Babylon 5. Of course, that's Bert with Babylon 5.
Yeah, it well, and like, man, Babylon 5 with the poor budget they had to get going. It's like, I'm surprised nobody, like, I would welcome that to be remade with.
But they've talked about that. They've talked about that and Battlestar Galactica, doing Battlestar Galactica over.
But Battlestar Galactica is, I don't know if they need to do it over again. No, but what I'm saying is, take some of that and like either run off an offshoot of it, like they're doing with some Star Wars stuff that's being successful, and like, you might not have liked. I know they're doing Rogue Squadron right now. I'm kind of, I don't know if that's going to be good or not. Andor was, either you loved Andor or you didn't.
I've never met anybody that didn't, but
I'm on the second season. I'm on the second season of it right now.
I'm on the fence. There's episodes that I really liked, and episodes I'm like, wow, I'm just getting talked to death.
Right. But there's passion behind that show, and there is a steady hand behind that show. Andor is not constantly going, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Evazan. Excuse me, sir. Bump. Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Vader. I almost bumped into you. That's what they're doing so good. There's shots in Andor that are literally just like a walkway, and there's no crazy aliens. There's no clown show. There's no goofiness. It's very controlled and serious. A lot of humans, which I don't think that Star Wars know how to do aliens anymore. I said the other day, they're either mad and angry or they're comedy relief, and they sound like there's some guy from Brooklyn. Like it's like the lowest effort with aliens. They don't want people to have a different language. I can go off on a whole rant. We could do Star Wars for hours.
Well, and so here's my point. You have a whole Wookiee, not wonky, Wookiee. That was a big thing today. Like, I'm going to be on a show with him and the Wonky, and somebody called him the Wookiee, and he's like, "Who is the Wookiee?" I'm like, "Oh, it's you."
It's the Wonky.
So why are we're not going into that whole civilization? I mean, there's good stories right there. I mean, they've got so much that you could dig into and like run off of.
Right.
That who would not watch something about the planet? I can't think. Kashyyyk. Who would not watch that? I mean, I'd be all in. And now, as long as it's good, it still has to have good writing and everything else. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, so we have Rogue Squadron. That was a big book series growing up. I mean, it was very good. If they stick with the books, I'm going to be happy. If they do something weird, then I'm not going to be happy, and they're going to ruin it. Star Wars is either they absolutely ruin it or they do great things. If certain directors are involved or certain
Right.
people involved, it's going to be really good. But my point to this is, it's like we really haven't had the next. So we have Star Trek and Star Wars still. We've got a little every few years we get a little blip for Battlestar Galactica, but we really haven't had somebody really jump in. And like Dark Space, I'm really excited about as an RPG. I'm getting to play it for the first time next week at LongCon, and I'm like, this it has enough good stuff, and it's its own thing. Where it's like, okay, this could actually grow into something that's really fun for an RPG.
Right.
And I like new stuff like that where it just sits on its own.
Right.
It's not like trying to be Star Wars. It's not trying to be Star Trek. Because I mean, those games are great. The D6 Star Wars game is probably one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
And the Morbius. I always butcher this name.
Odysseus.
The newer Star Wars game. That's actually a pretty good game with the
Fantasy
funky.
Flight. Fantasy Flight originally made it, and then I think Rebellion or Edge makes it now. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Edge.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. I got the name wrong then. But they have the Star Trek game too, and it's not bad. But
Yeah, that's
Modiphius. Oh yeah, the Modiphius. Yeah.
But I mean, it's all cool stuff. But it's like, okay, same with TV shows and the thing. You're telling me that they tried to do the guy that does Family Guy tried to do the space show.
Yeah.
What was it? Orville.
Yeah.
And it was really supposed to be a spoof, but then they're like, this is actually could be pretty good. Yeah. And then they kind of died somewhere in between.
I don't know what's going on with that show now.
It just it got odd, and they don't know where to go with it. I think because they just
I thought there was only ever one season.
No,
I never watched
seasons. It's just the first season was kind of a guffaw on Star Trek, and then it came back, and it was actually a real show. And then I think they had a third season, but don't quote me.
Yeah. I know. I watched it all in one shot. So it felt like one season to me.
Well, I don't think I ever watched it, and honestly, it's probably because I don't usually watch like the mainstream, like the old network channels anymore. I'm only watching like exactly what I want to watch, and that's it. Like I don't.
I mean,
I think it was on Hulu. And I started watching it, and like I was like, I've heard good things about this, and I started watching the first episode. And I'm like, I don't know about this. It's very hammy.
Right.
But once you start to get pulled in by the characters, because there's like Seth MacFarlane's character, it starts off with him having like this messy divorce, and then they're paired together on the same ship together, and
like a bad sitcom.
Yeah, it is a
sitcom like storyline.
Star Trek.
Remind me of Seinfeld with his butler. You remember that episode where like the show's going to be about Seinfeld and how he like has his own butler? I don't know.
But the funny thing is that the show has a lot of heart. Mm-hmm. And so it ended up pulling me in because I became invested in the characters, and the fact that it was a ham-fisted spoof of Star Trek fell away. In fact, there's like an episode where there's an alien couple that at one point they get addicted to cigarettes. They use the replicator to make cigarettes, and then they're just like smoking hundreds of cigarettes a day.
Kind of funny. There's funny stuff you can do with that, Yeah,
it's actually a pretty entertaining show. Recommended.
And I think what happened with it is they went so far down to being a spoof of Star Trek, and then people started getting into it because of their own characters. Then they were too into the spoof of Star. They tried to come out.
Correct the ship.
They had to correct the ship because they actually it was like this could stand on its own, but then it couldn't because it was so. Even the uniforms are very Star Trek,
right?
And so then, I mean, they tried to tackle some pretty outstanding topics with transgender and some other stuff. They tried they had some thought-provoking episodes, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. And then it just kind of dwindled out. I don't know that any of it was bad. It's just a matter of my whole point to this is like, other than like Warville, which started out being like just a mock of Star Trek, it's like what's our next big thing? You know, I
who
know
knows?
what was the movies, and they were not good movies. It was supposed to be a Star Trek or Star Wars early clone era, no, Knights of the Republic era, and then he ended up when he couldn't get the Star Wars license, he did it on his own.
Oh, Rebel Moon.
Yeah, the Netflix 2-part thing. It was terrible.
It was terrible, but it's like I was like, okay, there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah, great
But
trailer.
Then we just all of a sudden had to do these jumping, flipping, spinning. 100-pound lady kicks the crap out of 9 dudes, and it's just like
bad story. Just bad story.
It was a bad, and tried to pull in like visuals from like Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he. But it was funny because looking through it, you're like, okay, there is something here. It just never got there.
Well, I wanted to like it. Also, real quick, I want to shout out Baran the Relentless's last comment, which is, it's sad that the Orville was the best Star Trek since Enterprise, and it's basically TNG fanfic. Right. Just because that is pretty spot on.
Right. Definitely.
You don't like Strange New Worlds?
I personally haven't seen Strange New Worlds. The last thing that I was it Discovery, the one with Spock's sister, right. And I thought that was terrible because they
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't watch any of it. I haven't watched any of it.
At the first episode, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. It was the first episode, and there's like battle, and there's all this stuff going on, and yeah, the Klingons look weird, but you're like, okay, I'm kind of into this. And then, it got left to center and stuff. And Discovery got really making statements.
Well, there was just so many. Like, I think of, and I'm going to go off on a little tangent here.
Go for it.
Like, the thing that made Star Trek beautiful was the fact that it was a utopian vision.
Right.
And recent Star Trek was like, everything's got to be a dystopia. And so the Discovery focuses on a lot of the infighting, and then there's a battle in every single episode, and so there's people screaming and running through hallways for no reason, and that's not what Star Trek is. That's what Star Wars can be, but it's not what Star Trek is.
Right.
So
Brave New Worlds, they've had a couple of really corny episodes, but for so far, I think they've modernized the Star Trek vision enough where it's been pretty good. Discovery, I got very disenchanted with. I didn't like it. I thought, again, I guess I guess maybe I'm just getting old enough where I see possibilities, and then I'm disappointed because it was like, if they would have just. So maybe I'm just an optimist at heart. I mean, nobody would believe you, but maybe I am. Strange New Worlds, I actually kind of like, and I like obviously Anderson. I think he's great. I just am like, why after so many years, like why? Where's the next one? Like, why are we still trying to do Star Wars and Star Trek and not coming up with something new?
Because we got to do Tron.
Yeah, we
Tron. Yeah, Tron wasn't all that popular when it first came out. Like, we needed to do it again. It was like, okay, let's redo Conan. It's like, okay, Conan's really good. I can just watch Conan. I mean, it's really good. It's
literally fishing. Everything is fishing, and once you find the bait that even gets one little fish, you throw that bait every single time. They've done that with Dune. They've done that now with Alien, which I personally thought that.
I will stand for the Dune movies. The Dune movies, the two new.
Well, they got a TV show now too. They put out a TV show, so it's like it doesn't matter. It's like whatever we made. Oh, people are watching that. Oh, it's a hit. Throw it. Let's see what Bert has to say about it. What's up, Bert?
Hey,
Bert. Nick, you know Bert?
Hey, can you hear me?
I don't.
That is Bert Isla.
And with Blade Runner as his background.
Yeah, he's got Blade Runner. Bert, Nick is new to the show. I'm gonna call it the show. I don't know if
hello, Nick.
Nick creates a lot of stuff for DCC, and Bert knows a little bit about DCC. He is the glue behind us all. He is. Just tell him about yourself. You introduce yourself to Nick.
I'll tell you what, like we always go with the DCC stuff. So I edit, do layout and design for a bunch of folks that do DCC, including Matt here, David, and a bunch of other folks. But let's go with, got to give it the shout out to the other people I work for.
Yeah, go for it.
So Cannon Otter Studio, who does Teenage Odyssey.
I got it right over there.
The editing and layout on that one. And Skin City is our new one.
Yep. Very cool game. I did a video on that. I thought it was genius. Absolutely loved it. Where you play skeletons in the last city of humans. You're trying to infiltrate the city.
Secret skeletons.
Yeah, secret skeletons.
Wearing meat suits. Yes.
He's done a lot of books, and I like the background. We're talking about Star Wars again, Bert.
There are only 3 Star Wars.
You're right.
There are
There's only 3. There's only 3. And now, like, we were talking about how, like, like Dune movie does well. Okay, TV show. Alien Romulus comes out. Okay, we'll do Alien Earth, which I personally thought was absolute horseshit. I thought it started off slightly strong. It had some momentum, and then all of a sudden it just took a massive dive into.
Well, did you see the news that they're bringing back some of the 80s classics, Space Above and Beyond?
Really?
Excellent show. If you never saw it, they're bringing that back. And then what was the other one? Earth
2, maybe?
that might have been it.
Is it Earth
I
2?
don't remember.
Oh my god. They're just
It had the guy that played in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as Dr. Frankenfurter. He was the demon and legend.
Tim Curry?
Yeah. So Tim Curry was in it. Can't remember
okay.
the name of the show, but good show.
Yeah, Tim Curry was in a bunch of great stuff, and he was Pennywise as well.
Yeah.
So
let's hope it's better than Lost in Space with Joey Tribbiani.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't that. But now Bert knows Nick, and Nick knows Bert, and y'all both have your own YouTube channels, and I'll have links, of course, to all your stuff like I normally do. And we got Halloween tomorrow, so I don't know what plans y'all have. That's why I'm not doing a
Burning games.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm going walking around with my daughters. There's only 1 Dune movie and 2 Alien movies. This guy's right on the money.
Yeah.
For me, I love 1984 Dune myself. It's what I grew up on, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. And Frank Herbert liked it. He might have not liked all of it, but he did like it.
That was the one that was least accessible for a person that had no idea what Dune was.
Right.
Because it kind of relied on you kind of knowing a little bit about Dune going into it. I think the newer one, it really isn't bad, and it's definitely more palatable to folks that are experiencing Dune for the first time.
Right.
But yeah, my heart's with the original classic.
Yeah, of course.
But I had been a huge Dune fan prior to that. So
Bert, did you see the David Lynch Dune in the theaters?
I did.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Did your theater give out the glossary of terms? Because I remember my brother coming home with the glossary of terms.
So they had a limited number, and it was a long line. So I missed out on that. But I tell you what I did get, since it's in the news now, when Tron was out, the original Tron in movie theaters, went to see it in the theater, and they gave out glow-in-the-dark Tron yo-yos. I still have mine.
That's awesome. Oh, that's right. Got to go watch.
Yeah, let me grab a different hat. This is not working well with my green screen. I'll be right back.
No problem. Yeah, I can see that you were kind of fuzzing in and out. Like, this guy's phasing in. I'm kind of like with y'all when it comes to like we have read. There are so many fantasy books that are out there, and like they keep on going like, oh, let's just rehash this, and we're gonna do that, and and I'm like, there's so many fantasy books y'all could be doing TV shows on. Like, take a chance at something. This is really great, and it's like they just it's that safe thing. We were talking about how. I know you've been watching Bert, but just everything is safe and nobody really wants to take a chance. I think about the movie Dark City. How did that movie ever get made? Bert, you're really phasing. Oh, there you go. I'm like, how did that movie get made? Like, there's some movies now that, and I think I mentioned that the other night with the original Judge Dredd. Like, it was at the time it was bad, but we didn't know that it was like, oh, what, you guys are stopping making these movies like this? Oh, well, I didn't think you were going to take it that far. Like, I think we all should have kind of apologized and been like, oh, no, please continue. I didn't think you were going to take them away because we do kind of enjoy them, I don't know.
Yeah, Judge Dredd was so bad it was good because it was just bad. I mean, Stallone playing.
Yeah, I would tell you to watch it again. Like I said, I've watched it recently and I was like, this is what everybody hated? This isn't horrible. And I remember making fun of it when I first saw it. I think it's just like you're in the mood, you're in that mode and you're like, oh yeah, this is crap. And then later on you're like, well, hold on, this got to be darker. Yes, Dark City's director's cut is very good. But
yeah, I didn't hate that movie. I'm a big Frank Miller fan and I was just I didn't hate it. I mean, it's I think with technology they could have done a better job, but maybe they wouldn't because you figure, okay, they got intelligent technology and they don't put out better movies. It's like the whole Dark Knight Returns should be an awesome movie, but then every time they try to do something to it, they just mess up. like what they do. So it's just like, when they brought in Ben Affleck, he was supposed to have this Frank Miller, type thing, and then they just kind of didn't do it. It's like, okay, if you want to do Frank Miller, or if you want to do Alex Ross, and you want to go, gosh, the iconic comic book Kingdom Come,
Yeah.
then do that. It would be really cool. Adapt that to be a movie, and let's watch it.
Kingdom Come would be incredible.
The thing that I was excited about, and now less excited about, like when Netflix did the like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and like I absolutely love all of those, especially Daredevil. Daredevil I go back to and I watch again and again and again. And then Disney, they did bring back the violence, and I'm hopeful for the second season. But Daredevil Born Again, it did not hold a candle to the Netflix, and it's that safety. Whereas Netflix was, still a scrappy upstart.
Well, the House of the Mouse is never going to put anything up that's too gritty, they're not going to do it. So,
well, don't forget too that from the same people you had, was it Defenders, or where they had Iron Fist, and Luke Cage was actually pretty good when it started out, and then the whole Iron Fist one was awful. And then Jessica Jones. Terrible. Jessica Jones, there were really good episodes, and then it got really towards the end. I thought
I like either Batman. I like Batman, or I like cosmic stuff. Like that's me. Like I like Green Lantern. I like Superman. I like taking it I like Kirby. You know what I mean? Like I like that stuff.
Give me the street level.
Yeah, I get very more relatable. I get very tired of I punch hard. You know what I mean? Like,
because come on, man. Every guy up until probably 30 are like, I can hit the gym and get fit and put on the spandex and go out there and stop some crime.
Exactly. I really enjoy.
You can't put on the spandex and be Superman, though. I mean, it's just not as relatable.
No, you're right. I do have to take a little small break here, and David Beatty messaged me. He cannot make it, but he does have a message for us, which I will now show on the screen if I can. And
cat rule.
Yeah, it's something kind of like that. I'm going to show you right here, and I'll spotlight it for Matt. D'Amico licks doorknobs at conventions. So I don't know. Probably sticking. We're going to leave that right there.
I'm glad that it's on toilet paper too.
Yeah. I think that it's either that or paper towel. Maybe
that's for you, buddy.
We're just gonna leave that right there. But no, I mean it's great talking about all this stuff. I really dig it. Star Wars, though, it's kind of like what you were saying, Matt. I said this. Okay, so I was born in '77. Star Wars is as old as I am, and at what point? I've said this on other videos before. At what point do we say, okay, we're not going to continuously listen to Don Giovanni, like Mozart's Don Giovanni, like that? We're done. We're moving on, and it's like we can't seem to do that. You know what I mean? It's like we're going to continue to listen to Mozart, and that's all we're going to listen to, and we're going to just change it up. And here he is. Here's the Mona Lisa. Now she's riding a bike. Oh, now here she's flying a kite. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. We're going, here's something that's amazing, and we're going to just keep changing it. And one thing I want to say about The Mandalorian is this. What did they do? What did they really do with The Mandalorian? Okay, they took a fantastic design in Boba Fett. I think we can all admit that, right? That's one of the best things about him is the design was just awesome. And then they said, you know what? Here's a sketch of a small, cute Yoda. And they went, there it is. That was, if you think about it, it was like the lowest, easiest thing they could have done. They got someone to do a Disney-fied version of a Yoda, and they took Boba Fett, made him a bounty hunter, and they said, "There's a TV show." And
come on!
And a lot of people.
Original trilogy had Ewoks. You can't blame. Of course, the Ewoks were cannibals. People forget that.
That is true. They were going to eat them. Yeah, they kind of forget about that. But I mean, I'm not just saying on the cute thing, but I think it's funny that the best thing that a lot of people say, other than some people saying that Rogue One's an amazing movie and it's the best, whatever.
I will rank it higher than Return of the Jedi.
Okay,
I think it stands the test. It gets better as you watch it.
Okay.
Like when you first watch it, you're like, because you kind of know the ending, you're like, ah. But as I've gone back and watched it over and over again, I'd rank it up there. It's pretty good. It's better than so there's 3 Star Wars movies. The best one is the second one. Empire is the best. Okay. but I would say that's fourth out of, I don't know. You could argue Rogue One is the fourth, but it's good. I mean, knowing that they have this little piece to work with and still bringing in that many cool characters, you're like, okay, that's Star Wars.
Yeah, it definitely has the good feel of it. I personally think it has a terrible leading person in it that no one ever talks about. Jenna Erso. She is a nothing main character in a Star Wars movie that everybody goes, "Wow, look at this other characters," and they're like,
Yeah.
"What about her?" Rogue One's really good. And I'm like, anything about her? And
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that with her though, like, because I thought that she was a fine character, but they never were going to be able to do anything else with her because she wanted to do a single movie, and she dies at the end. So there you go.
Star Wars is better than Empire Strikes.
No,
Star Wars is very good, except
No.
for the Death Star scene, which everybody goes and uses the bathroom at. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's what's so great. Good or bad, people that are strangers can come together and talk about Star Wars,
Yeah.
and that's an amazing thing.
You
can
talk
have an
long enough,
hour-long
you'll start a
conversation.
fist fight, though.
What's that? Yeah. Well, hopefully it won't. Hopefully it won't.
I walked out of the theater on the first of the new series. What was that?
Force
episode?
Awakens. The Force Awakens.
Yeah. So I wasn't too great with it to start off with, but then there's this scene where the robots during the big invasion are getting orders. The orders are sent as a hologram. Why does the robot need to see a hologram?
That's true. That is true.
It's like, oh no,
What?
this is bad.
Can y'all just have this downloaded into your heads?
Yeah.
I regret not walking out of The Last Jedi. Whenever Mary Poppins happened, Leah Poppins, when that scene happened in the theater, I was legitimately embarrassed at what I was watching on the screen. I could not believe it. And to this day, I wish I had walked out of the theater and just laughed and did my hands like this at the screen, just been like, what a joke, and just laughed. This is not real. This is a clown show, you know? But I didn't do that, and I regret it to this day because the movie, I think Last Jedi is horrible beyond all reckoning. But it does look good. I'll give it that. But that's what's so great about Star Wars. You can just keep talking about it. You know, it's just it never stops. But I would like to continue. That's the thing about Rebel Moon is like, could this be something that takes us away from Star Wars? Could this be of that level?
Not anymore.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
The best part.
That was what the beauty of Firefly was, and why so many people still want it to be a thing again.
Right.
Because Firefly, it had that like D&D party dynamic, but at the same time, it was adventures in space, and it was immediately lovable.
Yep. Oh, we got some nice music. I like that.
That was the best thing about the West End Games D6 Star Wars is that the universe was so expanded in that you could play way out in the middle of nowhere where you are not affected by what's going on in the Star Wars timeline and just do your own thing. I loved that aspect of the West End Games version.
I agree. And they were creating some good lore. That's the thing too. It was very much like Iron Crown did with Middle Earth role-playing game. They were fantastic at creating lore. It wasn't like, oh, here's the Middle Earth game, and because it's Middle Earth, I'm going to play it. It was like, no, it's the Middle Earth game, and these guys are doing some really, really great work at creating that world. And I think there's some companies doing that now today with some stuff too. But that definitely, for me, both Star Wars and Middle Earth role-playing game, I was like, yeah, Iron Crown knows what they're doing, and West End Games know what they're doing. You know,
well, both of them had extensive access to archives, notes, thoughts that the creators were going in what directions they were going, etc. With the Tolkien estate, they got a mound of stuff that later they did publish them later on as books, like the histories of Middle Earth and stuff, which weren't out at the time yet, but they got access to that.
And so when they went to the TV show, why didn't they use any of it and make it good? The TV show was awful.
Because the directors nowadays, they want to put their DNA on everything. It doesn't matter if the original stories didn't need to be touched. They want to change it because they want it to be known as their masterpiece, their epic.
It's the same thing in comics too. Like, does everybody know Planetary? I think it was an iconic comic. Like, why is that? So if you want something that's current with, two gay leads, you've got Apollo and what's the Batman-esque character in that Knight something. But you've got a lot of current stuff in there, and it's super cool, and it's a great story. It's like you could just make that into a movie, and it would be current, and everybody would enjoy it. And you hit your hot topics, check
Yep.
for the studio, going across, and it's phenomenal. It's a really really good comic. But why don't instead we do, Iceman is or whatever.
It's like they're just trying to grab whoever. They've got certain quotas. They've got to try to grab stuff. And I think a lot of people, they want the stuff. I said this. They wanted to say stuff, especially about comic books. When you bring up comic books, people say, "Oh, well, he was drawn like this." But to me, it's art. So, like, I want to see that art come alive on the screen. I always wanted to see the X-Men in their costumes. Like, I want to see it the way it was alive, and like in person. And I don't want any of that other stuff. I don't want you to change the stories or change the way the characters. I want them to almost. And well, it might look silly. Well, you know what? You put Wolverine in his costume. It looked pretty damn cool, if I'm not mistaken. They put Hugh Jackman in that costume, and I was like, man, it looks good to me. What was wrong?
But the problem is, Bert said it. Yeah, Bert said it. I mean, it's just one of those deals. So they want to put their own spin on it. You had, 20 years of Star Wars. But like really good novels
that
they've done, and like you could just do one movie after another just doing the novels, and they just decided, F you, we're going to do our own thing, and broke it.
With the costumes, yeah, you're right. For the male costumes,
that's true.
In a lot of the comics, the females' costumes are gravity defying and do not work.
And even beyond that, the other thing, I'm going to go back to something that I said earlier, which is that it's all about getting it to the largest possible audience.
Right.
Though comic fans are going to be like, Wolverine should look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
But the average person thinks that's nerdy and dumb.
Right.
And they want to see them all in modern suits. And
black suit.
Yeah.
The black suit movie.
Awful.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's not how I want to do it. But I think that what happened, though, was because people enjoyed it, they continued to see X-Men the way they were, and they were like, we're putting them in the suit. I was like, so you almost have to like build up to that nerd. The nerdom has to reach a certain level where you can actually embrace the nerd. Does that make sense?
I think it's the age of things.
Nerd stuff is now acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, it's because the people that are creating it for us, like the people in our age range. That's why.
Yeah.
We have the CGI.
I mean, this is why we've got live action Voltron and He-Man and stuff like that. It's catered to our age demographic.
No, you're right. I think there was so there there's obviously times where they had smaller budgets and they would just take chances on stuff. I mean, how is it that like Hawk the Slayer got made? How did Krull get made? It's like these stories came out of nowhere, and I love them, and like it just started to ebb away, and I just wish people would take those chances. But now, everything's done digitally. I'm a big lover of film, actual film. Like I like digital to a degree, but film just is like, I watched Alien Nation the other day, and I think I said this, and I was like, this looks good. Like, it looks real. It looks like this really happened. Like they were filming this, like it's got that grittiness. Digital doesn't have the gritty.
The reaction film that people do these days on YouTube, like Gen Z sees whatever for the first time. I wonder if anyone's done
You're right.
Has anyone done watch a Ray Harryhausen film for the first time and see what they think about the special effects?
I
honestly want to know.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. Krull bombed, but shouldn't have. I agree. But Krull
was amazing, and the cast in that was amazing.
Yeah. And the music is fantastic. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's like I said the other day about Judge Dredd. It's just, I guess we didn't expect, because they didn't do well, that they would stop making them, because they were always making them. They're always making these stinkers that would come out, but they had like somewhat big budgets. And they were sci-fi or they were fantasy. And then finally, I guess they just took their toys and went home. And I'm left going, but that's why I'm happy that like Deathstalker, that movie that just, we talked about it on the other video. There's a new Deathstalker that's out. It may be horrible, but I want to see it. Like, I mean, someone took a chance. Someone put money into a Deathstalker movie.
I think it's not that it's not being done. I just think that the reception wasn't there because, I mean, we had a new Conan not that long ago.
Right.
And, honestly, Momoa, in my mind, is the best Conan actor there was. It's just he had a horrible script.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So I actually had never seen Conan the Barbarian until a year or
Mhm.
two ago. I had seen Conan the Destroyer on HBO, but I had never seen Conan the Barbarian. And I finally saw it. And I was like, as I was watching, I thought to myself, Jason Momoa would make a perfect Conan. And then I found out that there was a Conan with Jason Momoa in it. And I tried watching it and I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
He
bad.
was truer to the books, and I thought he was the perfect Conan, but that was a horrible, horrible script.
The only thing I'll say good about that Conan movie, I think Jason Momoa is, like you said, Bert. I agree with you. If you go back and watch it and just literally just take some like screenshots of landscapes, there's some really cool landscape. That whole scene at the end, that like skull cave castle place, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I think a lot of it was like you were so like kind of regurgitating your food when watching it that you kind of were like, oh, this is all horrible. But then if you kind of have like a filtering eye and go, hey, that's a really cool fantasy looking spot right there, and then it's gone, and then you have to deal with the rest of the movie. It does have a lot of cool stuff like that. I like the Solomon Kane movie that was made. I thought it was fantastic. You see that, Nick? You seen that one? Watch Solomon Kane.
Okay.
You've seen it, Bert, right? It's great, and it has a huge body count in it. It's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And so every once in a while, you're right. Some stuff does come up.
Yeah, but they didn't do well in the box office was the
No,
thing,
they don't
and
do
so
well.
they took a
Well
risk. It didn't pan out, so now they're gun shy about doing
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Aren't
And
they
he did-
doing Red Sonja now?
Yeah, they've already got Red Sonja.
Ugh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
they
be
already got Red
bad.
Sonja. I probably won't watch that one, but I'll watch.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
It's just you're just one of those ones you're like, that's not gonna go.
And then my defense, and a buddy of mine that I met, the guy who started me playing Labyrinth Lord and OSR, one of the guys who started me, he told me, he said, if Conan the Destroyer gets a lot of crap, but if Barbarian didn't existed, it would be like the best, one of the best sword and sorcery movies ever made. And I agree with him. Once he said it like that, I said, you're right. I said, it's got a lot to live up to. And some people do like Destroyer better. They just like the kind of campy fun of it. But yeah, I that's what I always say about Destroyer is that
Well, what makes
Barbarian,
the first one more the classic is that Basil Polidera soundtrack. That's
it's fantastic. It does really help it, man. I mean, when you hear that dun 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 dun, I mean, you're just like, oh, you're like, I'm in heaven. It's the same thing I do whenever with his soundtrack to RoboCop. Someone's going to Detroit, I'm thinking of the RoboCop theme. And no, he pulled a lot of weight for some of those great movies, but no,
You know
it's
what I
pretty-
forgot about? We were talking about Willow.
Love Willow. Willow.
Did you see the new one?
Oh no.
It was like,
Oh.
oh man.
No,
And I
I mean-
realized Val Kilmer could not, because of his medical issues, could not,
Right.
Make an appearance in the new one. But it was not not good.
I mean,
No.
we got Lord of the Rings. We got
No.
The Hobbit.
It was
No.
terrible.
But just cinematically, those were amazing movies. Like when I was a huge Tolkien fan when I was younger, I would love to have seen that on the big
Sure.
screen.
Sure. It just
Yeah, but it's just when they got into like elves or like the new TV show.
Yeah,
It's just really bad. I mean,
It's
it's
just-
just the
it's
story
all
is not
fan fiction.
good, and it's all
Okay, so if you're a moviegoer and you're a book reader, don't ever read the book first. If you
Oh, yeah.
help
Yeah.
it.
No, you watch the movie and then you get more details about it by
Yeah.
reading the book.
I feel like that,
that-
Wheel of Time in Amazon.
uh,
Had I not read the books first or knew anything about the books first, I would think it's an okay
right.
sci-fi / fantasy
Right.
show, and I would not care a thing about it. Knowing the books, though, I
Abysmal.
am angry.
Very angry.
Yeah.
I was very angry. My wife completely noped out of it. She read more of those books than I did. She was like, "Nope," and I was like, "Understand." I think it's where, and it's true. The books are on such a level. You have got to be beyond perfect with some of them. So don't even try. You know what I mean? And some Amazon throwing a bunch of money at it is not going to make that work. It's
Mhm.
like, and that's the thing too. Like Dave will tell me about a movie or a TV show, and I'll be like, Dave, it was made in 2025. I'm going to have a little caution. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do now. I'm like, ooh, it's like this Welcome to Derry, this It TV show. I watched the first episode. It was good. It didn't completely blow me away, but I have to also say, oh, this is 2025. Look at the things we're talking about. We talked about skill and not taking risks and stuff like that. So it's like I'm just gonna. And Alien Earth really put a bad taste in my mouth. Where it's just like, you know what? I've got to wait. I'm gonna wait before I put all my eggs in this basket because it is 2025, and these people just cannot make anything good. It seems anymore. And that's why we're looking at stuff like Robert Edgar's or what is it, A24? Is that what they're called? Yeah, like something like them. You know what I mean? Like people are looking for these like niche like filmmakers and studios, and it's like, can you save us, please, with some sort of original idea?
Fallout. I thought Fallout was perfectly fine.
No, Fallout was good. No, Fallout was great. I would give that one.
But remember, the thing with Fallout is it was an IP that was built up in the video game industry, and so then they were like, okay, we're gonna throw money at this because this is already a huge success.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
it's not like somebody came out of nowhere and they're like, I'm gonna make my fantastic series about this idea that I have.
Well, then they didn't try to take a lot of like the director putting the thumbprint on it, like we talked earlier. They pretty much stepped into the lore that existed.
Halo supposedly did that, with Halo. Like, they were like, I didn't watch any of it because that's the thing. I wait and see now to a degree for some of that stuff. But Fallout was, I consider myself a huge Fallout fan. I absolutely love Fallout.
Maybe because they assume that the rage of video game players is going to be a lot more intense than book readers.
That's true. That's true. Well, the thing too is they've got so much to work with, and they can kind of gauge, well, how did that go? Fallout was awful.
I didn't like Fallout. I got drowned out, but I didn't care for it. I was just like, it's too campy.
Like I said, I thought it was okay. Like it wasn't a great piece of art, but it was okay.
Well, I think, okay would be a good thing. With the mounds of crap, did I watch it? Yeah, it was okay. It was like Halo, I was like, why are they taking off their helmets every 2 seconds? And then eventually they were like, okay, let's take off our armor and run around. It was like, well, then you're not Halo anymore.
What run around.
Yeah, it's like, why are we running around without our armor on? That's like, okay. So,
we just want constant action.
Yeah.
It's because they were out of CGI budget.
Yeah. They're like, well, we got to do something else here. We can't be throwing plasma grenades for an hour. But I like the Fallout show, and I'm looking forward to the second season.
Well, what has come out within the last 5 years that you guys thought was like not just good but incredible? Like you would sit and watch it again and again and again.
Movie, TV show wise,
TV show, series, movie, something that you really thought was just an exceptional. Because I can't think of one. I can't think of one
in the last
years.
Five may not be a big enough time frame, to be honest.
When was Mandalorian? There's been some good episodes of Mandalorian. I don't know. Are we already outside that window at 5? They haven't had a new one in a while. I mean, Boba Fett was awful until the Mandalorian showed up and took over the show. That was extremely disappointing, and I just want to take the original clone guy and like take him to the gym and be like, dude, let's work on your flexibility, and you can do more than posing. Let's I'm an old guy too, but I can at least fake a fight.
So Nick, the question posed was, in the last 5 years, can you name a movie, TV series, or TV show that was just you could sit and watch it again and again? It was that good. Okay,
Andor,
that good,
straight up.
Andor. He says Andor.
Oh, okay.
No.
I haven't seen it, so
again and again is going to be really hard. I can maybe watch something again, but I don't know if I can.
I've watched Andor all the way through 3 or 4 times.
Okay, wow, you're on top of it. Yeah,
I watched it by myself, and then I watched it by myself again, and then I watched it with a friend, and then I watched it by myself again, because it is that good. There's just there are certain scenes. There's a point where there's a rebellion scene, and the guy literally is. There's a cultural thing on this planet where they encase the dead in bricks, their ashes in bricks, and he literally starts the riot. Like,
that's right. I saw that.
Somebody with the brick.
Yeah.
So Nick,
that was great. No, it's
only House of the Mouse. You have to subscribe to the channel. Is that the only place to get it?
Yes.
There's this thing called Plex that
I mean, legitimate way to do it. I mean, I'm going to take it upon your advisement, and I will give the House of the Mouse for a month, and I'll watch it.
I actually thought of a series that I watched that I thought was extremely good, and you're going to laugh because when I tell you she's a detective, and it's Mayor of Easttown, and it was an HBO Max series, and it's the star from Titanic, and it was
Winslet?
extremely good. And she's a cop.
Kate
She has
Winslet.
yeah,
Oh wow.
and she gained a little weight for the role. She looks like an old mom.
Yeah.
In the thing, I mean, she's obviously a beautiful woman. That she really just played into the role. That was fantastic. We watched it, and then it was over, and we were like, "Okay, I want more."
All right, what's the name of that one again? I'm going to get that one down too.
Mayor, Mare of Easttown, and it's a fantastic miniseries. I keep waiting for them to say, "Okay, we're going to do another second season." That was really good. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but mainstream, superhero stuff. I haven't liked anything. I have liked some of the new Strange New World. There's a good one, and there's a bad one, and there's a good one, and there's a bad one usually, but it hasn't been terrible. It's true to I think the thing, but that was one of the shows that I was like, okay, that I could recommend that and look in the face. Most of the other ones are so out of realistic; they're not even TV fun. Like the one with Hawkeye in it.
Hawkeye.
No, well, Hawkeye was bad, but he stars in the mayor of
Jeremy Reiner.
Yeah, the mayor of something.
A lot of mayors going on.
The mayor of Kingstown, I think it is, or maybe I'm thinking it's. Go ahead.
The other series that I was gonna freak. The guy who did Blight something Manor, the vampire one.
Midnight Mass. I hated Midnight Mass, dude.
Really?
Absolutely hated it. The monologues, the people that had never heard of a vampire before, I just couldn't buy it, man. But I know a lot of people love it, so I'm probably in the minority. You were in the majority in that regard.
And it's interesting because like normally, like when somebody like kills off the dog in a brutal way, it makes me so angry and I want to shut the thing off. But it made me hate that character so much. Like it was a show that knew how to tug at me.
Yeah. Get you going. Yeah, that's like some bad characters, just like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Like we all hated him, and it was like, whoa, he's a good actor. It's like The Sopranos with AJ, like his son. I was like,
Brandon, how about you? Last 5 years, a show that you can watch over and over and over again. It was that good.
Show or movie?
Show, movie, series, doesn't matter. Something you've consumed in the last 5 years, media-wise. Well, let's say not video games, an actual show of some sort.
I gotta like let me see.
Temptation Island.
I believe it or not got two more for you, Bert.
Okay.
1883 and 1923. Forget about Yellowstone because Yellowstone has to be something you like. You gotta like Ninja Cowboys, but 1883 is stuck to.
I can't watch that one again.
You can't.
No, it's too tough, man. It's too tough.
But that makes it good because you're
it's Oregon
real.
Trail. It's Oregon Trail, the TV show, and it is just an absolute kick to the stomach. And I've got daughters, and the end of that show is brutal, man. I almost couldn't finish it. I was like, this is just dreary. But I love them both.
That's how good it is, though.
Yeah, it is good.
1923, same deal. You're actually Tim that plays the bad guy in it.
Timothy Dalton. Dalton.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton is fantastic. Where you find yourself just physically getting angry, and it all works out because the Yellowstone Ranch is born. But you're like that. Those three have been pretty good.
I doubt this. Y'all might not. I agree with you. I think they are good. The other one is just a little bit too raw for me.
I agree.
I maybe y'all laugh at this or whatever, but I really enjoyed it, and I've seen it twice now. I really enjoyed that last season of Stranger Things. I thought that they absolutely nailed it. And the season before, I absolutely thought was dreadful, bad, and I thought the show was done.
I just don't want to pay for Netflix anymore. I caught the first two, and you could get the first two in DVD, but then they stopped putting DVDs out. So
right, no, I get you. The last season, huh?
We have a vote on the for Blue Eye Samurai, which is
Oh
actually
yeah,
something I've watched.
yeah. I've heard good stuff
Cartoon.
about that, but nah, Stranger Things. I thought that last season was dynamite, and I can't. And I'm looking forward to the next one. It's cool, and like I said, I did not like the season 3 of Stranger Things. There was just a couple cool things with Billy and like the cool monster, but all the rest of it was just
Oh, season 3
corny.
is when they tried to do a spinoff and it just fell flat. Like,
Well, yeah, and it had the
yeah.
mall. It had like the
Yeah.
mall, like the Russian. That had the mall with like the Russian base underneath the mall. It was just too far fetched. It was corny. It was terrible. That whole thing was horrible. They had introduced a lot of characters that I didn't like, but they really, I thought, brought it back with that 4th season. And
Okay.
I was
It's
hooked.
fun. It's funny because like I enjoy, maybe it's because I like the whole kids on bikes genre.
Mhm.
I liked the mall season. It was
Mhm.
fine.
Oh,
Whereas um I loved Eddie as
Mhm.
a character.
Yep.
That was his name, right?
Yeah. For
Um
sure.
but like the whole Vecna thing,
Mhm.
like it I enjoyed this. I enjoyed that season,
Yeah.
but also wasn't tied to the central story so much as I just like the characters.
Right. Yeah. The characters were strong, and it was the first time you had like an evil bad guy in this story where he
Mhm.
talked and he had some sort of like. It wasn't just like I'm a monster from this other world, this other dimension, and I'm like just a beast, and I'm just a creature that's going to try to kill you. It was like a thinking, evil, corrupted, calculating, and I was like, oh, I like this.
it was season 2 that I was thinking of where they tried to do the spinoff where there's whole other super group like
Yeah.
7, when
Oh, it was
yeah.
horrible,
They were
terrible.
trying to do a
They,
spinoff,
they knew that it
and
wasn't going to go anywhere, and they were like, nope, this didn't land well with that one episode. But no, Stranger Things. Even though I just watched the trailer with my daughters just a while ago, 'cause they like it a lot. I just watched the new trailer for season 5. It's only like 2.5 minutes long, but it was they of course all look like they're about 35 years old, um, which was hilarious. But it looks like it's the scope got bigger in 4. The scope got
okay.
huge. The plan was there, and before it was kind of like it was like they're dipping their toe in the underneath or below or whatever the hell it's called. You know what I mean? It was like we're just dipping our
Yeah.
toe and oh, it's creating these ripples. And the 4th season was like, yeah,
So
we're
one of the reasons why I asked the question, and I knew this was gonna be the result of it is, okay, so for me, who doesn't, digest a lot of media like this, you guys
yeah.
came up with some great shows I have to watch.
There
I
you
have to
go.
subscribe to Netflix, I have to subscribe to HBO, I have to subscribe to Walt Disney to watch any of it.
Yep.
You're right.
That's a load of crap.
Streaming sucks.
Well, the other one that you probably should watch is Shogun. That was
Shogun's
really
good. I
Shogun was
like
really good.
I
I
like
mean,
Yeah,
it
it's
but
too.
this harkens
it's not
back to the
better than
days of, cable where you had to à la carte everything.
Yeah.
I
And
there was one series that I watched recently. Two things that I watched recently. I feel like, and I was looking at the year, like there was a show called Warrior that
yeah.
came out in 2019, and there were 3 seasons, so it transcends into the 5 year mark, and I really enjoyed that series. It is about Chinese gangs in the at the turn of the century, and I thought that show was very entertaining.
Who did it?
In fact, I even stole one of the aspects of one of the characters with the ability to stab multiple times really fast.
that
Um,
is enjoyable.
I love it.
Where was it at? Bert was saying who did that. Do you know who did it?
It is. I have it up on here.
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Bert
And
brings up a good point though. Okay. And I want to throw this out to you guys. And I need to kind of wrap up here. We're going a little because I got to get to work. It's gonna be a bad. Go ahead, Nick.
before you go, I have to tell a Tool story.
Go for it.
Oh.
Okay, before you go, okay, I just want to say this real quick about subscription stuff. I see what you're saying, Bert, about having to subscribe all this thing. What do you guys think about a subscription service that's like this? Nick, let's say you like horror, sci-fi, fantasy. What if the only thing you had to pay for, you piecemealed and said, I only want to watch horror, sci-fi, and fantasy, and that's all they billed you for, and that's all you got to watch? I would be on that subscription. I love Tubi. Tubi is the best. I've told my wife several times, can we get rid of all this stuff and just watch Tubi? And Tubi's only getting better. Now it's got advertisements and stuff. Everything's got
The
advertisements.
stuff
Even things
doesn't
that I
stay
used
long
to.
enough is the problem with Tubi. It comes and goes very fast.
Yeah, it does. But it's gotten better. It keeps getting better. But like, imagine if you had a subscription service and they said, do you want horror TV shows? No, I don't think they work. I'm not going to pay for that. Do you want comedies? Hell no. Do you want you know what I'm saying? You literally just sit there and say, I'll pick this, I'll pick that, and I'll pick this. Those are all like $3 a month, and like for movies, $3 a month for TV shows. Done. I would be on that.
I think that would. It's funny because I'm like that with music, but I feel like that would feel too limiting in terms of viewing, because sometimes I want a rom-com.
Maybe they do a thing where you get like every once in a while you get like every month you get to try out this or that from one of the other genres. There is ways of doing subscription models, I think, that can really work for everybody. And I think that would be it. And I get tired too of like Netflix getting something. There used to be a time where I would be able to be like, you know what, that's on one of the streaming sites. And now I'm like, it's gone. I remember it being on there and it's gone. And it pisses me the hell off. Netflix used to get some really wild stuff and it's gone. But I tell you, I would do that in a heartbeat if it was a subscription service where you could just pick what you want. And then, like I said, think outside the box with what we pay for and be like, hey, look, once a month, you get 4 different genres. You can try a movie or a TV show from like comedy or romance or whatever, drama, just to give it a try. And
what people are doing now, and it's kind of screwing over the companies, but they're making it so you have to do this, is people's like, okay, I'm going to get Netflix for a month and I'm going to binge everything I want to watch. Now I'm dropping you. And I'm going to get Hulu for a month and then I'm dropping you. Because nobody's paying for 10 streaming channels.
No, I've done it. All you need is Tubi. In my opinion, all you need is Tubi. But I mean,
no. Here's what you need.
He's got a disc.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's
600 DVDs. It's a mess back there. But yeah. So you talk about a Plex server. I've got near a petabyte of storage that I'm ripping all of these onto.
No, I'm all for it too, man. But I don't have the room for a whole bunch of that stuff. And like as my stuff gets going more about, I tell you, that's a subscription service that I think one of these days someone's going to come out with, and you've heard it here first. With all the thousands of people watching, that's going to be a subscription service that I would definitely get on. Because I mean,
and the problem is that every one of these companies will have to buy into it to lease out their IPs, and they don't want to do it. And that's why.
Yeah.
Because, so originally it was just Netflix because they were the first to the industry and they made these great deals with all of these companies so that they could get their materials for next to nothing. And then NBC, CBS, ABC are like, hey, why are we taking a small percentage of this? Why don't we just make our own? And then everybody started doing it, pulling in all their IPs. And if you want to watch it, you got to subscribe to theirs.
Peacock, Paramount Plus. Yep. Yeah. And that's where we're at now.
It's almost like they didn't learn from what happened during the cable TV days.
No, they didn't, man. And then there's just too much out there too. That's the problem too. Is just bloat. Stuff just goes by.
And more importantly, they control the market. What was it? Philips just announced no more Blu-rays. They're not creating them anymore.
Right.
So DVDs also, there's only a few companies that make them now. The big companies stopped making DVDs. And I don't mean putting movies on them. I mean the media.
Right.
They're not making the media.
Sony, I think, right?
Yeah. So you're only going to be left with digital.
Yeah.
And digital is all rights management. So if they don't have the rights to show it, you don't get the right to see it anymore. That's not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing, man.
No.
Hold on to your physical media, you know?
Well, in physical media goes so like CDs are shelf life 7 years.
Yeah,
I mean, they last longer than that, but 7 years.
This is why I still listen to vinyl.
Yeah.
He's a vinyl man. But
I work in an antique shop and we do a lot of LPs, we do a lot of media, stuff like that. VHS is making a huge comeback because there was a vast number of shows that never made the jump from VHS to DVD.
Yep.
Problem is the players cannot be made anymore. It is impossible to make them because the reed heads, the gear heads, all of that, the factories have to completely retool to do it. And there's no profit in it. So they cannot be made now.
Yeah.
All right, quick cool story. Brandon, you said you're a big Tool fan.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
that is correct. And I just want to say Tim is correct. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Sopranos. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
So you would have been in 8th or 9th grade at the time, so you wouldn't have experienced this. So I saw Tool before they broke big in 91 or 92.
Okay.
I saw them in a small club in Buffalo called the Scrapyard.
Wow.
And Maynard, they played on the floor. And Maynard was standing there on the floor, and here's this, crowd of like, I'd say about 35 people watching Tool, because they were the opening band. And literally Maynard stared at one point the entire time, and it creeped everybody out, and you saw the crowd slowly part. And so they would realize Maynard is staring straight at them, and so then they'd step aside, and then step aside, and like a slow-moving laser beam, he cut a path through the crowd with his gaze.
That's amazing. I could definitely see that happening. I've seen some of those bootleg copies of like, back in the day, their things, of him like standing there, just like zoning in on something. So I could definitely see that with Maynard. But this has been fun, guys. I want to go around and just again, like, I've done this before. Bert knows it, and Matt's been on here. But I hope to have you back. I hope this has been fun for you, Nick. I know this is the first time for you, and it's been great having you. I'm glad we got to finally talk. And that's one thing too, is I feel like this is just a great way to just kind of break the ice with people and just not have any awkwardness and just be like, hey, we've seen each other on Facebook. I know I've talked to you. I've done videos on your products, but like, hey, let's talk. And we're all nerds, and we like talking about nerd stuff. So Nick, if you will, tell them again about your stuff and send me those links, and I'll let people, get in the description for your products. So go ahead.
All right, so my name is Nick Baran. I make grimdark survival horror content for Dungeon Crawl Classics, based around a town called Stennard. And I've got like 40 some odd products out there, all based around this town. And then you can find me on Patreon. I have you can still back Horrors of the Whispering Wood. And the next Kickstarter will be coming sometime in the near future for Wide-Eyed Terror.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great, man. And Matt, again, I know this is kind of a broken record for you. You keep on saying it, but let's keep on telling them,
Yeah. Hey guys, give me a like and follow on Xcrawl Rodeo. Bert right next to me makes me a better writer than I am. We will be launching around November 11th. We need 200 plus followers to launch. Joey Docile did the art. Fantastic. I think it's going to be a fantastic book. It's a lot of fun. I think it's just really something that when you first start saying rodeo, what do I want to play that for? But when you combine the gladiatorial stuff of X-Crawl with the bizarre craziness of rodeo, and then everybody's a star, including the monsters, I think you really will like it. It's a lot of fun and something to play. So give us a like, follow us. I think you'll be excited in November 11th when it comes. You get to see more of it.
It's gonna be great, man. I'm looking forward to it. And of course, Bert, do you have anything new that you can share? Or
man, I'm doing work for a bunch of folks that are having Kickstarters going soon. Of course, Matt here just told us about the next one that we're doing there for David Beatty. The next one will be the next reprint, or the reprint of the Weird Frontiers, which will have 2 new modules in it, 2 new classes in it. Trying to shrink it down a little bit. Just being a little bit more concise with the wording and the editing. So there's still going to be massive tomes. That's the next big thing. For myself, I hardly ever plug this. This is my own DCC book, Train Through Hell. It's on Drivethrurpg. It's a drop-in module. If you are playing Weird Frontiers or any DCC game and you want to get people from point A to point B on a train, there's some interesting stuff to go on. Just drop it in there. Jason Forbes, actually, it's got a harkens back to the early Deadlands, where they had the novels, like the short novels, then an adventure. And this has got a short novel at the front of it by Jason Forbes, and then the adventures in the back. So check that out.
And I did a video on it, and I thought it was really cool, and I dug it a lot. So, this has been fun. I hope, like I said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for everybody that's been watching. I think at one point we had 10 people. So I think that's a new record. Nick helped break the new record. Really, Bert showed up. It was like, boom, it's on. We got 10. So, Nick, I hope to have you on again. Of course, Matt and Bert.
Thank you so much.
I hope you had fun. Like I said, we go off on tangents, man. We'll talk about comics, movies. It always ends up in the same place: comics, movies, TV shows, and
all that nerd stuff.
yeah, a lot of nerd stuff in video games and whatnot. So if that's it, I mean, anybody's got anything else, we'll wrap it up right there. So thank you very much, everybody, and yeah, well, hopefully we're not gonna have one tomorrow night since it's Halloween. I've got to do that work tomorrow, but hopefully next week we can do another one and some other people can join. And if anybody else here wants to join back, so I think 6 people is about the max we can do. Bert, from that one time that was way too many when we had 8. It was a bit much, but no, this has been a lot of fun. And thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely.